Well, hello everyone, it's Kari, and I'm back today with a shaker card to share for the new year. I love sparkle and shimmer and foil for the new year, so today I thought we would do a shaker card. And these numbers that are from the birthday numbers dies are a beautiful size, perfect for a focal point on a card, perfect for a shaker card. So we're going to use those today to spell out the year 2024. And then this stamp set is the Furry Friend Sentiment stamp set. Then I have a whole bunch of dog stamp sets. Heffy Doodle has some really cute dog stamps. And so I'm going to pull together a number of these to create our card today. So let's start out by cutting out the number. I'm going to use the number 3 as a placeholder so that I make sure to get the spacing correct on my panel. And I've got a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card panel here so that I can make sure everything's going to fit just perfect. I'm taking out the sentiment that says let's pawty, and then I'm going to just see which dogs are going to fit on here. I'm taking out a few dogs from the Yappy male stamp set here, and then I've got a couple dogs I'm going to add in from the Who Let the Dogs Out stamp set as well. So now that I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing, I'm going to tape down all of these numbers, remove that 3 before I send this through my die cut machine, and then I'll go ahead and add the 2 right back in right there, trying to get it as lined up as I can, and tape that down and again run it through the die machine. Now I'm going to save the center pieces for the 0 and the 4, and I've got a couple of shaker mixes here that are really beautiful. I have Firefly, and this one is the Cherry Pie Sparkle Mix, and I decided to go with that Cherry Pie. It's really pretty with lots of golds and a little bit of pinks in there, so that's going to decide our color scheme for this card. So because the color scheme is going to have some pink and gold, I'm going to take some sparkling berry ink and ink on that lots of happy stencil. So it's going to say Happy 2024 here, lots of happy. I'm just going to ink that on very lightly so that it's kind of a background idea. The dogs really and the shaker is going to take center stage. This acetate here I'm just treating with a little bit of dryer sheet so that it doesn't have the static cling to those shaker pieces. And then I'll use a small bead of liquid adhesive around the numbers so that I can add that acetate. Once that is dry, I'm going to stamp my sentiment here before I put the shaker together. I'm using some black ink for this. It says let's pawty. And I think that's just so fun for these dogs. I'll stamp it a number of times to get a nice dark impression, and there's the front panel all ready to add our dog images. So let's color these little guys up. You can see I've stamped out a few here. I've got a couple of different varieties of dogs. I just love I love all the dog images from Heffy Doodle, but you can see I'm going to color up this one here on screen so you could just get an idea of how I colored them up. I'm using some E50s to color up this little he looks like a Cocker Spaniel maybe. I'm using E57, E55, E53, and E51. And then I'll go in and add some darker coloring as well, just to darken that up once again, which is what I typically like to do when I color. So I'll probably color both of these little Cocker Spaniel dogs the same. Maybe they're a poodle. They could be a poodle as well. See their little tails? Really, really cute. And you can see that most of them I'm going to color up with this same color scheme. I will add some dots just to give it the image and the idea that it's fur. And I'll just add a few here and there to those for the little Chihuahua, which I have a special place in my heart for Chihuahuas. I had a little white long-haired Chihuahua at one time, and I just loved him. So for this Chihuahua and also for this the Schnauzer down there, I'm going to use some warm grays to color them up. And then I'm going to cut these with the coordinating dies. I usually cut them into strips before I stamp and before I cut them out so that they fit through my mini Heffy Doodle die cut machine, which I love. It is a workhorse. It sits right here next to me on my desk so that I always have it nearby, and I can cut out all these small images with ease, and I don't have to get up and go all the way across the room to my large die cut machine. So I love this. I'm going to go ahead and cut all of them out here with their dies, and you'll see in just a minute how cute all these little dog images are. Once we have our dogs all cut out, it's time to start arranging them on the die panel, the die cut panel. You can see there is a little birthday hat in this stamp set. This is the Who Let the Dogs Out stamp set. And I did add a birthday hat, which is actually going to be like a New Year's celebration hat for this card. I did add those to quite a few of the dogs. So I just wanted to show you that real quick. And now I'm putting those little center pieces right back into the 0 and the 4. And I realized that these are not stenciled, but it's okay because once we get all of the shaker pieces in and all the dogs, you're really not going to notice that. But if it bothers you, then be sure to also ink those up before you do the die cutting. So that would be a much easier way to make sure to include that. Now I'll go ahead and add some of that shaker mix. These are the Cherry Pie Sparkle Mix pieces, and they are gorgeous. Lots of beautiful shine on this. And now I'm going to add some of that beautiful double thick foam tape all around the edges and around the numbers, because I'm just wanting to keep that shaker mix right behind the numbers. So you'll see here that once I get the foam tape all around the perimeter of the panel, I'm also going to add some to the top and the bottom of the numbers. And that will make sure that we keep the shaker mix in between. See here? So I'm making sure to get it all the way to each edge. And that way that is going to keep the shaker bits right inside to shake behind those numbers. And I will fill in the pieces also here so that there's no sagging on the card. I'll add a few of the extra pieces that I had right there. And now it's time that we can move that Cherry Pie Sparkle Mix towards the center and put our piece right on top. So I'll remove the release paper from the back. I just wanted to make sure that was going to fit in there. And then I'll put that right on top, just like this. Excuse my hair here as I take a look and shake that to make sure it works. Now it's time to add all the dogs around. I'm going to put a couple down here at the bottom. These guys look like they're talking to each other, having a good old time. I'm going to put one right here by the Let's Pawty. He's a little excited right there. He's got one of the birthday hats on. And then this guy just jumping around, super excited for the new year as well. And a couple other little guys right up top. They also look like they're partying, talking to each other. So that's how I decided to do this arrangement today. I am adding some foam tape behind all of them so they will be popped up just a little bit. There we go, just like that. Placing the last dog here, he's jumping gleefully. I've never seen a happier, happy New Year set of dogs. For that little collar, I'm going to add one of the gemstones to his collar. So he's got a sparkly collar there, and I'll add a few of these gems all around, also some sequins, all around the card a little bit too, so it looks like we've got a real party going on now. So I'll just add those with some liquid adhesive, and that's going to finish off our New Year's Let's Pawty shaker card with all those cute dogs. Now let me move this over. I'm going to show you what this looks like when you shake it. Hopefully you can see the shine and the sparkle and the excitement that that cherry pie sparkle mix brings. It's a very happy, happy, happy New Year card. There we go. That's going to finish our card today. I hope you enjoyed this process video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we are going to have so much inspiration to share this year. I think you're going to love it. I'll be back real soon with more to share. Until then, Happy New Year. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.